Well guys, here we go, day 3 of our project on the classic beachcomber b15 trailer. So of course, like most of these old trailers, if you're familiar with them, they over time they start to have condition issues, mainly humidity, and humidity causes things that you don't want to have in trailers to be there. So of course, this has always been a bad spot back here right from day one, when I got the trailer, whatever it's been now, 3 years ago. You see the water line kind of across the back here. That tells me there's been humidity in here, or if not, in fact, moisture. And over here in the back corner here, pretty much there's a soft spot back here. You can tell I've been back there looking, and as well as the corner of this bench has let go as well. I'm not 100% sure if it's let go due to whatever it was screwed to has become soft, or if it's let go because of a bigger issue. So of course, what I'm going to do is start disassembly here. I'm not 100% sure how far this is going to go, how far I'm going to take this. With my experience with campers, you start working on an area that's small, and next thing you know, you've ended up gutting a whole entire trailer because one thing leads to another. So of course, this might turn in from a small little project into a great big complete restoration project before I know it. So of course, first thing I need to do is take out the cushions, of course. Second thing I need to do is get rid of the headboard. I am probably going to remove the headboard completely, take it right out of there, because that way it'll give you a bed that's fit for a person that's over 6 feet tall. Other than that, you're crunched up in a ball, and it makes for a semi-uncomfortable sleep. Of course, the next thing to probably do is take off this. Next thing to probably do here is to take out this fold-down bunk bed shelfie thingy. And of course, it's all with screws. If you take it apart gently and proper, you should be able to either to put it back together or to, make things right from there. Of course, I have electrical here, both the lights there and a lamp over there. I've never had the lamp fired up, but I'm assuming it does work, so I have to mind the electrical lines when I'm ripping and tearing. So guys, let's get at her, and we'll see what happens. Okay guys, so here we go. As you see there, the row of screws going all the way across the back and just up the side of the trailer here. Of course, this piece here is a curved piece. You gotta mind that, because that would be a pain to have to recreate that in terms of bending a piece of wood, and in terms of cutting that panel right there to make it fit. Of course, when this lets go, it's going to be a little bit heavy, but we'll have to cross that when we get here. There are weird little chains. I don't think they're a factory setup, and hooks into the ceiling. I'm sure they're not a factory setup, but they seem to hold, and I'm assuming they probably hold too for a bunk bed for a small child. I imagine at one time there must have been prop rods or some kind of stick to hold up the bunk beds. I'm assuming. I'm not quite sure how they would have been up there. But of course, guys, you just keep on going, keep on running screws, giving them turnout and all that, seeing how far you get. Of course, with a project like this, you never know what you're getting into until after you've gotten into it. So let's keep on trucking, and yeah, see how far we go. Well, we got the bunk out of here. As you can see there, the row of screw holes. And of course, the wire hanging down is from the handy dandy 12 volt interior light. Just held on with your simple blue connectors like you find on your automotive supply store or anything like that. Of course, the wires were fished inside this panel. Again, of course, it's hollow. You know, a brilliant design when you consider it saves lightness, but still gives you the structural integrity for strength, right? So, of course, I had to pull those wires out. Now, when I go to put it back together, I may have to either take that panel apart to get them in there, or I might have to fish them on through with a piece of wire or something. But hey, we'll cross that when we get there. We're nowhere near the putting together stage yet. So what I'll probably end up doing is taking the bed part here off, the new plywood, so I can get in there. Next thing to tackle would be this headboard here, removing the lamp and the 110 power supply from there. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to relocate that power supply there or get rid of it altogether. I might move it over to here and have into that cabinet and have like a port for charging cell phones and stuff. That would make more sense than having a lamp by the bed, especially when you have a light just right above the bed anyway. So again, guys, keep on rolling here and you know, kind of go from there. Well guys, here we go. Got the wood here, plywood pulled. Got the table frame or bed frame, whatever you want to call it, pulled up. Of course, left with the old benches for now. I pulled the lamp. Turns out it wasn't 110, it was actually 12 volts, so that was pretty sweet. I guess I guess there goes my cell phone charging port at this time, which is no real biggie because there is a plug-in right there, so it's not a big issue at all. So of course that lamp was 12 volt, and I pulled the headboard, as you can see. It is out of there now, and of course I found the hoses for the water tank and the sink hoses. So of course that headboard was a reason for it being there. Of course, like all RVs, they find interesting ways to hide things. Of course, now you can see the scope of the moisture. There was water getting into here. Of course, I knew that there was a water problem at one time because when I bought this camper, that piece of OSB was already there. So this must have been slowly leaking for probably 5-6 years anyways. Of course, next step to do, guys, is to probably start working on these benches. They're probably not going to come up in one piece, but I'll try to get as big a pieces as possible because when I go to put it back together, I'd like to use the templates as much as possible to replace this particle board with actual plywood. And I may end up having to build new framework and stuff like that. Depends on how well it comes apart. The headboard came apart in such a way that I am able to use a template to get it back together. I was thinking about omitting the headboard, but upon further inspection with the hoses there, you can see the line, the headboard line. I really can't even shrink it in further. I could probably cut a notch out of the mattress and have one full-size piece and one small piece, but we'll kind of let her be at what it is. We'll leave the headboard. I'll rebuild the headboard and put it back in. Of course, the water has started creeping into this second around the corner here piece, especially the down low piece. So it depends on how I am for material. I may be able to get into this corner and at least replace that corner piece. I know it's behind the headboard and I know you're not really going to see it, but then that way I know myself that it has been replaced and it is good. So guys, of course, I'm going to keep on going here and see how far we get. Well guys, I've made a bit of a decision here. Well, I really want the extra 6 inches in for the bed, and I never use the water tank nor the sink. In fact, I've never used any of the appliances in this trailer with the exception of the gas burners over there, and that was before I bought my Coleman stove. And I don't really like using the water tanks in trailers and stuff, mainly because you never know what's been in them. You never know how clean they are, like sanitary stuff like that. So of course, to make things simpler, I'm going to remove the water tank. Basically it's just, if you will, 3 hoses, but 2 of them run to the port on the outside of the trailer. I'm assuming one, the small hose there, is like an air vent, and the other one of course is the intake. And then the other hose here runs up to the sink there. I'm assuming is like the pump up for the water for the sink. So of course there's a plastic hex nut fitting on this end and a hose clamp, so we'll undo her. It's no real biggie anyways, because due to the age of the trailer, this is pulled out of the floor anyways, so it's not a real biggie. And to fasten it down is a little bit going to be more labor intensive than what I'm willing to give it at this point. So of course I'll undo those clamps, and then I think this whole bench assembly is pretty much ready to come out, because I think she's loose. Well guys, here we go. Got the bench and that all removed. Got the water tank, of course, all removed. This is where you can really start seeing the extent of the water damage. It looks like I said, there wasn't humidity or moisture in here years ago, because these patch pieces, these are just loose. But that big one back there, if you can see it, the strap for the water tank is actually bolted through it, and it looks like it's bolted to the floor or screwed to the floor. So there's been water or so in here for years, at least leaking of some kind. And of course you can see the damage over here in the corner of all the wetness from I'm assuming the wall and maybe the interior, what's behind the wall, stuff like that. I also did find a patch on the wheel well here, as well as a hole up high. I'm assuming it's probably a rub mark or something, which of course that should be fixed before it's pulled, especially in any type of rainy or wet conditions, because the wheel will just drive the water right up and in. That might have been where the water was coming from 10 years ago, was from that. But of course I got to clean up these hoses here. Like I said, one runs to the sink, the other one runs to the tank, and the other one here is the big filler. So well guys, here we are. Got the benches out, water tank out, all that good stuff. It gives you the full look now on open space. Normally I would be ecstatic right now, because that means that we're well into our project neck deep. Except of course it just exposes more and more issues, more and more things that are needing to be done. So I'm not 100% sure what to do now, if I should keep on rolling and tear open this wall, which makes it bigger project, or what I should do. Part of me just wants to shut the door and forget about it, and the other part of me wants to keep on trucking, right, and open this wall up and seeing how big of a can of worms are in this wall. Right now we're probably looking at a total restoration job on this trailer, because for me just to throw up some 2x4s across there and put a piece of plywood down, it would be a temporary solution to a permanent problem. It would get me through this season and using it once or twice, but it's still going to be there for next season. So it's something I'm going to have to decide on what I'm going to do, right? All in all, guys, the fiberglass itself, from what I can see from the outside, the trailer is in good shape. Just the 1970s interior is not weathering the 40 years of use, you know, stuff like that, right? But guys, of course, I guess I'm going to open up this wall and see what comes flying out at me. Well guys, just got off all the trim and all that. The corner trim, you know, the top trim, all went all the way around. Of course, I pulled off the middle edge strip thingy. These middle trim here are like a, these middle trim here are like joining both sheets together to hide the edge. One thing I'll say is, hey, maybe there's hope that I can rebuild this panel board after all, because their professional cuts, as you can see, are actually quite square. So you know, they hit a lot of things with the molding, right? But once I pull off this corner here, that's where I'm gonna find all the treasure, is under that corner. And then I'm gonna have to you know, deal with that from there. It's, judging by the moisture, I bet you it's probably into the wood that straps these walls. So hopefully it's not too bad. I know the fiberglass itself won't be hurt, because in theory, fiberglass is sort of like aluminum, kinda. It'll last forever almost, with the right maintenance anyway. So I'm gonna get pulling here, trying not to break these panels, because these panels are what I'm gonna have to use as a template to rebuild this trailer. Well guys, here we go. Got all the paneling off. Of course, it all came off in one piece. It didn't break or nothing. So that was pretty sweet. Of course, just like I expected over here in the corner, the humidity or moisture, where it was wet, has made the wood in the corner go soft. So I'm pretty much gonna have to either remove this piece, and the bottom piece all the way across, and lay in new stuff, or cut and splice, depends on how she is. It looks like they fiberglassed resin or glued the wood to the fiberglass, so that might be interesting to get it off. Being she's soft and wet, it should just scrape off or pry off, and then I'll have to clean it up and then re-adhere it somehow. But it looks like possibility that water might have been getting in here and then running and dripping to there. What I'm probably going to do is do a water test on this trailer just to see if there's a leak. By doing the water test, I'd be able to find out for sure if there's a leak, and where it's coming from, where it's going, and stuff like that. But guys, of course, we'll get this wonderful yellow bat insulation cleaned up. We'll get it bagged out of the way, because when I put her back together, I'm probably going to use the, whatever that is, 1 inch or 1/2 inch pink foam insulation in here. It'll be a little easier than the bat insulation to work with. Another weird thing is they have a weird wooden particle board block right in the middle of this corner wall, and there's no reason for it to be there. Maybe on other models the spare tire bolt's there or something. But they got the wiring just like I expected for the taillights right here on both sides, so that's easy access to get at to change them taillights over. But guys, of course, keep on rolling and you know, kind of go from there. Okay guys, so now the wall is completely open, insulation out. You can see where the extent of the damage is. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my handy dandy Dremel Multibax MM20 and pretty much cut out all the wood, you know, back to here, back to there, probably, you know, back to like somewhere in there, and kind of go from there. But she's all good, guys. I'm gonna probably eventually here end up getting this camper. However, I do need it to for a trip coming up here. So what I'm going to do is cut this wood out of there, the wet stuff out of there, and then sort of patch it, if you will, to get through the next couple of trips, and then I'll have to end up gutting and rebuilding this trailer eventually. So I'm going to throw you on the old tripod here, of course, get you a good old view, and then we'll get cutting. So we'll take our handy dandy Dremel and trim out the second piece. And of course, then on to probably that little piece right there. Well guys, here we are. I got, of course, all that wood, soft wood there cut out. What you're seeing there black, what you're seeing now is just the residue left behind, which can be remediated by scrubbing it with some kind of remover there. Didn't know how far to take it into the floor area here, but I just vacuumed up the loose stuff that was around the perimeter edge. Gave the floor a good vacuum and a semi-sweep, you know. But for my big trip here coming up, I'm not going to be able to take this unit due to the fact, well, obviously it is not in workable condition, nor does it make sense for me to patch up this wall and have to rip it all down in just a matter of months when I go to redo the whole trailer, if I choose to. So I think for now, to save my money, what I'm going to do is not put any new wood into this trailer, just leave it the way she is for now. What I might end up doing is listing the trailer up for sale, that knows how to do woodworking, that is not afraid of taking on a project like this. Because when they're done, this trailer will be worth every penny they put into it in terms of resale value. But for me, in terms of value to me, right now in this usable state, there's not much value there until I'm able to rebuild it. However, in my life right now, it's not something I can tackle right at this moment to dive right in and to do it. So I'm not 100% sure on the future of this here trailer. I may end up selling it, or I might end up rebuilding it in the vision that I see fit. Of course, if I do that, it'll turn into a different trailer than what it is right now, There'll be a few things took out of it and a few things added into it that it didn't have from factory. Because, well, if you're going to do it, you might as well custom build it to suit your needs. Well guys, I guess that pretty much concludes the 3-part video series of the Beachcomber B15 trailer videos. So as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's World. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.